What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down what's happening with our economic calendar, what news just came out that's very important for the markets, and what's happening to Tesla as time goes on. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire community as a whole. So anyways, let's break down what's going on with Tesla in the market. Tesla is currently up about 0.12%, still relatively flat. We're seeing some weakness on SPY and the QQQ thus far, but we have to wait for confirmation before anything else. And right now, Aapl and Nvda look kind of flat at the time I'm recording this. So I'm going to be breaking these down in more detail in just a few minutes. Let's first go over some news and data. Today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 30 minutes after market open, we have the Consumer Confidence Report, the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index, and more shipments and manufacturing numbers. This is all going to cause some volatility most likely, so look and see which way the market moves 30 minutes after market open. And then after that, we have Waller from the Fed, Bowman, and Barr giving speeches throughout the day, so we'll see what that causes. But watch for some volatility at 10 a.m. That's when we have the most significant data of the day. When it comes to other pieces of news affecting the market appears to possibly be taking a breather after 4 weeks of nonstop pumping for the most part. We'll see if this continues, but we have to be watching for confirmation. Looking at the e-commerce stocks, they're getting boosts after the strong sales projections and strong improvements for Cyber Monday. That's why we're seeing stocks like Etsy and Wayfair just closing up 3 and 7%. Shopify also showing signs of more and more growth, as we saw a record $4.1 billion in sales. On top of that, with Amazon's big robot vacuum buy, shares of Roomba have actually dropped 17% due to the EU's antitrust watchdog warning on Amazon because of competition concerns. So this is very important, but we'll see what happens moving forward. When it comes to India, Aapl is willing to, or at least their suppliers, increasing its investments into India with more than $1.5 billion in unspecified Indian construction projects to fulfill. Not to mention, Tesla's making similar moves with over $2 billion to potentially invest. Then we're starting to see more IPOs, which is very interesting. Right now, this is what the headlines are saying, but I'm not going to confirm anything until we see what happens by open. And now we're seeing some headlines involving the Cybertruck. It's been more than 130 days since it announced its first build of the Cybertruck. Whoops, I think this just came up. And, there's still some pieces of news coming out about questions about it. They're talking about things we already went over, such as what Elon Musk is saying about how, it's going to be very difficult. They have a lot of challenges, enormous challenges when it comes to volume production. But once again, we'll see what happens with the event. As we approach the event, I still believe that Tesla could uptrend a bit. We have to be watching for confirmation. All right, so let's talk about the charts now. What's going on? Tesla is flat again, range trading between 235 and 236, and it's not really doing anything in the pre-market. But I just want to call out that right now we're getting very tight, and I think here's what I see for Tesla. The odds favor that it's going to be range bound for an extended period of time, so between 235 and 238. But eventually, whether it's later today, whether it's Wednesday, I don't know exactly when, but eventually it's going to break 238 in my opinion. It's going to be testing this. And once it breaks, we have this imbalance to fill at 242. I think we're going to see 242 at least very soon. And we have to break 238 first. As of right now, watch support at 235. If we break below that, we technically have some support at 233.5, but the real support's at 232. Watch resistance at 236.5, 237.5, 238 is very tight. 238 specifically is where we have tight resistance. If we break this, watch 240, then 242. I think that we're kind of range trading for now. We're going to continue to range trade for a bit, but then eventually we're going to try to break 238. I think we're going to break to 242 very soon by Thursday, and I think that it's going to come soon. We'll be watching it very carefully. But that's my view of Tesla, kind of like range bound for now, but potential to break to the upside soon. And I think that watch 238, and we'll see if we can get a break very, very soon. So SPY is looking kind of weak right now. We're basically rejecting on the 5 minute 200 EMA. And I apologize if I'm talking kind of fast because I'm trying to be quick with this because it's a little late right now. The market opens in about 10 minutes from now. Anyways, we're rejecting up to 200 EMA on SPY. I'm looking a little bit weak. We'll have to see what the data causes at 10 o'clock a.m. We're still range bound within this channel. If we're bearish, you want to see it lose the lower channel right here and come down to 452. If we lose that, we turn more bearish, and we're already starting to break out of this rising wedge I talked about earlier. If we're bullish, this should turn to a flag and we should break this upper trend line and try to push up for 456.5 if we break 455. We've been going back and forth between this channel. So I'm going to be watching this carefully to see which way we break. As of right now, there's no confirmation, but we are looking kind of weak because of the 200 EMA rejections that we're getting. So it does favor the downside, but just to be safe, watch and see if we break. We haven't confirmed a break yet. The QQQ is also looking a little bearish because we had this left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder forming, and we're currently testing 388. If we lose 388, watch support at 386.5. If that fails, it's going to come down towards 385, and it's looking bearish overall. The structure, the setup. To turn bullish, you want to see it get back above 390, then 391. If anything, it looks like it's going to test 388 and then potentially reject. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. That, if anything, is something that's worth noting. We'll be watching this as well. On Nvidia stock, I think that Nvidia is also very flat right now, going back and forth and back and forth. Watch 485 as resistance. If we break this, there's potential for upside to get close to about 490. Watch support at 480. If we lose 480, there's going to be a risk of it coming down to this low. If we lose this low, if we lose 474, it's going to sink down to 468. So make sure you just watch our levels. We're kind of flat right now in the pre-market, not really doing much. So we'll see where it goes from there. But if anything, I think it's very important to just be like really patient with it. And we'll just have to see what happens from there. Aapl is basically like really, really similar. Aapl basically has resistance at 190. That's kind of trading sideways around 190. If we're bullish, you want to break 191. If we're bearish, you want to see it lose 189. If 189 breaks, it's going to test 188, and it's going to start sinking lower. Overall, it's looking bearish because this looks like a slanted head and shoulders, and we're technically downtrending. So we made a high here, then we made a lower high, lower low, lower high. Then we might be making a lower low, but we need confirmation first. We're kind of stuck on Aapl, so we'll see if this thing continues to sink to bring down the markets. But just know that we have to wait and see which way it breaks. If we lose the level of support I just called out, we're bearish. If we break resistance, we're bullish. My view is simple. I'm in the middle with Nvda and Aapl. I think that Tesla has bullish potential, and if it breaks 238, we could start pushing for 242. And then for SPY and the QQQ, they are looking weaker. I'm getting some bearish signals, but we have to wait for confirmation as they're still in their channels. So that's like my most simple way of describing how I see the markets right now, for the equities markets at least. And with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Sorry if this video is kind of late, but I'm going to be back very soon in a few hours to release more videos. Have a great day, guys. Watch your levels, stay calm, cool, and collected, and be very patient. Expect some volatility for Tesla in the markets at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're ready and do what you have to do. Thanks again, and peace out.